If you're a man over 60, I want you to listen closely. What I'm about to share might just change how you feel about your body, your energy, and your manhood. Over the years, I've watched so many men blame their age, their family history, or even choices they made long ago for the slow and quiet decline in their sexual performance. But what if the real issue wasn't about any of those things? What if it's been right in front of you this whole time on your plate? The truth is, most men over 60 are unknowingly starving their erections every single day. Not by doing anything wrong, but by not giving their body the right ingredients it needs. And because of that, many are losing the strength, confidence, and intimacy they once enjoyed. I'm Dr. Moit Kara, a board-certified urologist and men's health specialist. For over 30 years, I've had the privilege of helping thousands of men rediscover their vitality not just in the bedroom, but in everyday life. Through years of working with patients and studying the science, I've come to a powerful realization. You don't need another pill. And you certainly don't need to accept that feeling less like yourself is just part of getting older. The answer may be as simple as 5 everyday vegetables. Backed by solid research, these vegetables can help improve blood flow, support your body's natural testosterone, and bring back strong, lasting erections even after 60. In just a moment, I'll go over each one with you. I'll tell you what to eat, how it works, and when to use it. And make sure you stay until the end because I'll also reveal the single most powerful vegetable to eat before bed. So stick with me because what I'm about to share could be the difference between slowly fading away or rising into one of the best chapters of your life. The first vegetable may already be sitting in your fridge right now, and it's more powerful than you think. Before we jump into these vegetables that could make a real difference in your health, take a second to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. I share down-to-earth advice made just for men over 60, and I don't want you to miss what's coming next. And if this topic speaks to you, type the number 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0 and let me know what you'd like to hear more about. Your feedback really does help me help you better. Alright, let's get into it. These aren't rare superfoods or pricey supplements. They're simple, everyday vegetables you can grab at just about any grocery store. But when you use them right, they can do amazing things for your blood flow, your hormones, and your ability to feel like the man you used to be. Let's begin with the first and possibly most overlooked vegetable that can naturally and safely help restore erection strength. That vegetable is beets. I like to call them the natural blood flow booster. I'll never forget one of my longtime patients, Alan. He was a retired school principal, 68 years old. He came into my office with that mix of pride and confidence you often see in men who've lived a full life. But I could tell something was bothering him. He leaned in and said, "Doc, everything else in my life feels fine, but down there, it's like something's gone numb. I eat right. I walk every morning. But when it comes time to be intimate, it's just not working like it used to." That moment stuck with me. Because I've heard those same words from so many men who do everything right but still feel like something important is slipping away. I told Alan exactly what I'm going to tell you. It's not about your age. It's about circulation. See, erections are all about blood flow. If blood can't move through your arteries freely and with enough pressure, it just won't get to where it needs to go, plain and simple. And that's where beets come in. Beets are one of the richest natural sources of something called nitrates. Your body turns these nitrates into nitric oxide, which helps open up your blood vessels, relaxes the walls, and gets blood flowing better. So, in plain terms, more nitric oxide means better circulation. And better circulation can mean stronger, firmer erections. And yes, the science backs this up. Studies have shown that the nitrates found in beets can support healthier blood vessels, lower blood pressure, and improve how well your body delivers oxygen. For men like Alan, who don't want to rely on little blue pills for the rest of their lives, this can be a game changer. But it's not just what's inside beets, it's what they do for the aging male body. As we get older, our ability to make nitric oxide naturally starts to drop. That's one big reason why erections can get weaker, energy levels dip, or even memory gets a little fuzzy. Beets help fill that gap. They give your body the fuel it needs to get things moving again, literally and figuratively. Now, if you're looking for the quickest impact, I often suggest beet juice. Just half a glass 3 or 4 times a week is a great place to start. But you can also roast or steam beets and pair them with a bit of olive oil to help your body soak up those nutrients. Some men even like to blend beets into a smoothie with apples or carrots, creating what I like to call a circulation cocktail. It's great for the bedroom, but also for your overall energy and well-being. Alan took this advice seriously, and 6 weeks later he came back to my office looking like a new man. He wasn't just getting better erections. He was sleeping more soundly, walking with more pep in his step, even laughing more. "I didn't think something so simple could make me feel like me again," he said. And that right there is exactly why I do this work. If you've noticed yourself slowing down physically or sexually, please hear me. Your body still wants to work. It just needs the right fuel. Beets may not be flashy, but that deep red root holds something special. It's not a drug. It's not a gimmick. It's food, real food working with your body to help you come back to life, one heartbeat at a time. And speaking of powerful vegetables that often go unnoticed, the next one on the list is something Popeye swore by, not just for muscles, but for something even more important in a man over 60. Let's talk about that next. Now, let's talk about the second vegetable on our list, spinach. You probably remember it from old cartoons or those dinners you tried to avoid as a kid. But let me tell you, spinach is much more than just a side dish. For men over 60, it can make a real difference in how you feel, especially when it comes to energy, blood flow, and yes, your erections. I think of one patient in particular whenever I talk about spinach. His name was Carl. He was 72, a widower who had recently found love again and remarried. He came into my office with a kind smile, but I could tell something was weighing on him. "Doc," he said, "I love this woman. I didn't think I'd get another shot at love in this life. But I'm scared. I'm scared I won't be enough for her. That my body won't keep up with what my heart wants." That hit me hard. Because that quiet fear, the fear of not being enough, is something many older men carry deep down. But here's what I've learned through the years. Sometimes the solution isn't complicated. Sometimes it's as simple as what's on your plate. Spinach is one of the most underrated vegetables when it comes to supporting male sexual health. It's rich in magnesium, a mineral that helps your blood vessels relax and open up, allowing better blood flow throughout the body, including to the areas where you need it most. And when your circulation improves, so does your ability to get and keep an erection. Magnesium also plays a big role in regulating testosterone, the hormone that fuels your strength, your drive, and your libido. As we get older, testosterone naturally declines. But spinach can help slow that drop by supporting your body's own hormone balance in a natural, gentle way. But there's more. Spinach is packed with folate, a B vitamin that supports healthy blood flow to the pelvic region. Low folate levels have actually been linked to erectile issues, especially in older men. Spinach also helps reduce inflammation, protect blood vessels, and even support your nerves. All of those things matter when you're trying to rekindle intimacy and feel like yourself again. When I told Carl all of this, I kept it simple. "Start adding spinach to your meals," I said. "A handful here, a side dish there. Nothing fancy, just consistent." And he did. He added spinach to his breakfast eggs, mixed it into soups, and even tossed a few leaves into his smoothies. Within weeks, he came back with a different energy, not just physically but emotionally. More open, more confident, and yes, more connected with his new wife. That's what I love about real food. You don't have to read labels or pronounce complicated ingredients. Your body already understands it. Spinach may not be glamorous, but it's powerful. A daily helping of this leafy green sends your body a message: I still care. I still want to live well. I still want to love. And if you're still on the fence, I get it. Maybe you've tried other things in the past and felt let down. But real food doesn't make empty promises. It doesn't promise magic overnight. What it does offer is steady, natural support that your body can actually use. And it starts working from the inside out. Now, that brings us to the third vegetable, something that might surprise you. It's not leafy. It's not watery. And let's be honest, it's not known for being romantic. But trust me, once you learn what it can do, you might start looking at garlic in a whole new light. Let me introduce you to garlic, the bedroom root, as I like to call it. I know, it's strong, it lingers, and it's probably the last thing you want on your breath before a date. But let me tell you a story that changed how I see garlic forever. A few years ago, I had a patient named Ray. He was 74, a retired Navy man. Still had that steady walk, that sense of purpose. But there was a heaviness in his eyes. He didn't say much at first, just sat across from me quietly. Then he said, "Doc, I'm not ready to give up, but I feel like something in me has already started to fade." I told him something I want to share with you now. Garlic may not seem like the obvious answer, but it could be one of the most powerful tools you have to bring your spark back. Garlic contains a special compound called allicin. That's what gives it its strong smell and its strong effects. Allicin improves blood flow, helps clean out plaque from your arteries, and supports circulation where it matters most. Not just in your heart or brain, but right down to the vessels responsible for healthy erections. As we age, our arteries naturally get stiffer. Plaque builds up. That means less blood flow. And less blood flow means weaker erections. Garlic helps clear the way. It supports the natural rhythm of your body gently and effectively. It also helps your body produce more testosterone, which is key for your libido, your energy, and your sexual stamina. I asked Ray to start small. Just 1 or 2 cloves of raw garlic each day. Chop it up and let it sit for 10 minutes before cooking or adding it to a meal. That little wait time. It activates the allicin and makes all the difference. We also talked about timing. Garlic can be especially effective when eaten at dinner. That way, it works overnight, supporting hormone balance, improving blood flow, and helping your body get ready for the next day. Ray gave it a shot. Within a few weeks, there was a change. Not just in his physical performance, but in how he carried himself. A little more upright. A little more hopeful. And eventually, he told me something I'll never forget. "Doc, it's not just about sex. It's about feeling like I'm alive again." And that's really the heart of all this. Garlic isn't a miracle cure, but it is a tool. A natural, simple tool that helps your body do what it's already built to do. You don't need to become someone else to reclaim your manhood. You just need to support the real you that's still in there waiting. Garlic helps you do exactly that. And you might be surprised at how quickly it starts to make a difference. Now, if you're still watching and you're finding this message helpful, go ahead and type the number 1 in the comments to let me know you're here and that this matters to you. Because we're not done yet. Up next is a vegetable that's likely sitting in your fridge drawer right now, quietly waiting to be noticed. It's not flashy, but it holds a secret that could change how you feel from the inside out. Let's talk about celery. Now let's talk about celery, the quiet vegetable with a powerful secret. You've probably seen it tucked away at the bottom of your fridge, maybe under heavier groceries or forgotten behind the milk. It's crisp, it's common, and it doesn't get much attention. But for men over 60, celery could be one of the most helpful vegetables when it comes to testosterone and circulation. I remember a man named George who came to see me. He was 66, tall and quiet, a former high school football coach. You could tell he was used to being strong, used to leading. But when he sat down in my office, he looked tired. Not just physically, but deep down. "Doc," he said, "I'm not the man I used to be. I don't wake up ready to go. I feel sluggish. And it's affecting everything, including how things are in the bedroom." We looked at his lab results. His testosterone was a bit low, not surprising for his age, but still enough to make a difference. What he needed wasn't some harsh medication. He needed to give his body the right support so it could do what it was designed to do. And that's where celery came in. Celery contains special plant compounds that may help boost testosterone naturally. They don't force your body to do anything unnatural. Instead, they gently encourage your system to shift back toward balance. One of these compounds is called apigenin, a natural anti-inflammatory that's been shown to help increase testosterone production in animal studies. It's not about creating a sudden spike. It's about building the kind of steady support your body responds to over time. Celery also supports better blood flow and heart health, to things that matter more than ever when it comes to maintaining strong, reliable erections. Because at this stage of life, your performance isn't just about desire, it's about what's happening with your circulation and your hormones working together. George took my advice to heart. He didn't overhaul his whole life overnight. He just started adding celery into his meals. A few sticks as a snack, some chopped into his soups, even tossed into a smoothie. Simple changes, but meaningful ones. And over time, I saw the shift in him. His posture improved. His mood lightened. He even started joking around more during our appointments. He told me, "Doc, I feel like I'm finally waking up again." That's what celery can do. It works quietly in the background, helping to lift you not just below the belt, but in your energy, your focus, and how you feel as a man. I've had men tell me that after adding celery into their diet, they feel more assertive. Not aggressive, just more steady, more sure of themselves. And when you feel like yourself again, it shows. In the way you move, the way you speak, even the way people respond to you. So yes, celery may be simple. It may not come with a big reputation, but don't underestimate what it can do for your body. It supports your hormones. It helps keep your blood flowing. And it quietly restores something that many men feel slipping away but don't always know how to ask for. Now, that brings us to the fifth vegetable on the list. It's not leafy. It's not watery. And it's definitely not something people usually think of as sexy. But this sweet, crunchy root has something special, a combination of nutrients that can help support fertility, improve erections, and even sharpen your mind. I'm talking about carrots. If I asked you to name a vegetable that helps with your eyesight, carrots would probably be the first thing that comes to mind. But what most people don't know is that carrots also play a big role in reproductive health, and yes, even in older men. One man who comes to mind is Frank. He was in his late 60s, strong hands, kind eyes, still working part-time doing odd jobs. He'd been married for over 40 years and still adored his wife. "We still hold hands," he said, smiling. "But when it comes to anything more, I feel like my body doesn't show up anymore." His voice cracked as he said it. "I miss feeling like a man." That broke my heart, not because he was broken, but because he didn't know how much power still lived inside him. Carrots are rich in antioxidants like vitamin A and C, which help keep your blood vessels healthy and support circulation. That's key for erections, of course, but also for overall vitality. They also contain fiber, which helps manage blood sugar levels. That's important because high blood sugar can quietly damage nerves and blood vessels over time, exactly the things you need to keep in good shape for a healthy sex life. And there's more. Carrots have been linked to improved sperm count and motility, even in older men. Now, I know most men over 60 aren't thinking about starting a family, but that's not the point. It's about keeping your reproductive system healthy and active no matter your age. Frank started adding carrots into his diet a little at a time. Raw, roasted, sometimes blended into a smoothie with a bit of ginger. Easy things. And over the next couple of months, I noticed a change. His energy was lighter. He joked more. And one day, he told me quietly, "We've been close again." And not just emotionally. But the most important thing I saw wasn't what he said, it was how he looked when he said it. There was pride in his face again. That's what food can do. Not in a single bite. Not overnight. But steadily, with intention. Carrots don't just support the physical side of arousal. They nourish the emotional space where confidence begins to grow back. And that's something every man deserves. Now, we've talked about 5 powerful vegetables so far, but there's one more I've saved for last. And this one is a little different. You don't eat it with your morning smoothie or throw it on your lunch plate. This one is for bedtime. It works while you sleep, restoring blood flow, supporting hormone production overnight, and helping your body get ready for the kind of mornings you may not have had in years. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the sixth and final vegetable on our list. This one is meant to be eaten at night, and it may just be the most important of them all. You won't find it on trendy food lists or hear much talk about it as a bedroom food, but trust me, it's a quiet powerhouse. And for men who are serious about regaining their energy, their confidence, and their performance, it can make a world of difference. That vegetable is asparagus. I remember one patient clearly. His name was Walter. He was 75, a retired accountant. Polite, reserved, the kind of man who wasn't used to talking about personal things, especially not feelings. But one day, after we'd reviewed his blood work and talked about his dipping testosterone levels, he looked at me and said quietly, "I just don't feel like myself anymore. Like something's drained out of me." That moment stuck with me. Because what he was describing isn't just about sex or energy, it's about identity. It's about feeling like the man you've always known yourself to be. I recommended something simple. Roasted asparagus. Nothing fancy, just brushed with a little olive oil and a pinch of sea salt. Easy to make, but powerful in ways most people don't realize. Asparagus is loaded with nutrients that work with your body's natural recovery systems, especially during the night. It's rich in folate, which helps blood flow and supports nerve function. It contains glutathione, a strong antioxidant that helps repair and protect the tissues involved in getting and maintaining erections. And it's high in vitamin E, which supports hormone production and overall reproductive health. In other words, asparagus helps while you sleep. It gives your body the tools it needs to restore itself overnight calmly, quietly, and effectively. Not through force, but through support. That's why I often suggest it as an evening vegetable. You're not just feeding your stomach, you're feeding your recovery. When Walter returned for his follow-up, I saw the difference before he even said a word. He had more color in his face and a new energy in his posture. He looked more at ease, more himself. He told me, "Doc, I've been sleeping better. Waking up ready not just sexually, but mentally. It's like something's been refilled." That's exactly the point. This isn't just about stronger erections, it's about a stronger life. Asparagus works because it respects your body's rhythm. It doesn't try to override your natural systems. It supports them gently and consistently. Now, maybe you're wondering, what do I do now? How do I take all of this and turn it into real, lasting change? Because knowing what helps is only the first step, and that's what I want to talk about next. If you've made it this far, I want to speak directly to you, not just as a doctor, but as someone who's spent decades walking alongside men through the ups and downs of aging. I've seen what it can do to your spirit when things start slipping away. And I've also seen the transformation that happens when men realize they're not done, not by a long shot. We started with beets, the natural blood flow booster. I've seen men go from frustrated and withdrawn to waking up with stronger, more reliable erections after just a few weeks of beet juice. Then came spinach, the leafy green that quietly fuels your testosterone, your energy, and your sense of power. You don't have to lift weights to feel strong. Sometimes just having the energy to fully show up for the people you love is the most powerful thing of all. Then we added garlic, the strong, honest root that clears the path for better circulation and supports testosterone. That internal shift it creates can change the way you walk, talk, and show up in your own life. George found that out for himself. He stood taller not just physically, but emotionally. After that came carrots. Sweet, familiar, and surprisingly strong. They don't just help with fertility, they defend your blood vessels and nerves against the wear and tear of time. And when you start feeling that internal strength return, it doesn't just stay in the bedroom. It spills into every part of your life. And then there's celery. Quiet, crisp, and so often overlooked. But inside that simple stalk is a message to your body: it's time to rise again. It helps your testosterone, your blood flow, and your clarity, all without noise or fuss. Finally, asparagus, the evening hero. The vegetable that works with your body as you sleep, helping restore the spark that may have faded but never truly disappeared. Now maybe you're still skeptical. That's okay. You've been told for years that this decline is just how aging works, that this is the best it's going to get. But I'm here to tell you, that's not true. I've spent over 30 years helping men rewrite that story. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s turn things around not by chasing fads, but by making small, steady changes that feed their bodies the way nature intended. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming your strength, your confidence, and your connection. Not as a man who's fading, but as a man who still has something powerful to give. Your body hasn't given up on you. It's just been waiting for you to give it what it needs. These 6 vegetables, beets, spinach, garlic, carrots, celery, and asparagus aren't just food. They're tools. And with them, you can start building a new chapter. One with more energy, more intimacy, more life. The next step is yours. And I hope with all my heart that you take it not for me, but for you. Because you're not done. You're just getting started. If this message spoke to you, let me know in the comments. Tell me what part hit home. I read every word, and your stories remind me why I keep doing this work. And if you believe in this mission offering honest, empowering health advice for men like you and you want to support it, consider making a small donation. It helps keep this channel going and allows me to reach even more men who need to hear this. Your journey doesn't end here. It begins here. Let's take that next step together.